Finally, Kepa, we are at the Tuttologic Surf Podcast here in X Masters in Italia. So nice to have you here, Kepa Acero, with us.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
Good, yeah, good, yeah.
It's been wild, huh?
Yeah, it's been a different experience, you know. But at the end, we are here, and I'm very glad to be here with you in Italy, Joel.
Yeah, for us too. It's really a pleasure to have you. A lot of people from Italy are inspired by your work, your attitude, and what you communicate through your projects, your video projects.
Thank you.
And then, I would like to start telling people how you came to Italy, because you brought some I don't know, adventure, excitement. You came from Bilbao to come here, and it was hard, eh?
Yeah, I flew to Munich, and then the flight was cancelled for some kind of a storm or something. Then I had to take a train from Munich to here, and then yesterday we had another surprise here in the Adriatic with a little kind of tsunami big enough to postpone the podcast, but here we are. So
Here we are. Here we are. And so yesterday we decided about the topics we would be talk about. So the first thing for me, Kepa, is when we talk to you, when we think about Kepa Acero, obviously our mind goes to the amazing trips you do pretty much by yourself. But I would like you to explain to us how you start to study a new destination, because you have been discovering a lot of waves around the world, most in Africa, I would say. And what's the process? How do you start saying, okay, I want to go there, studying the maps, understanding the culture? So.
Well, it's been like maybe 12 years doing this, so I made a lot of mistakes. So you learn all the time, no?
Yeah.
But from the beginning, I was very inspired by a video made in Namibia with Cory Lopez, and they found a wave by Google Earth. That was the key word for us, the Google Earth. Before, you could see maps with nations, no, and colors. And then suddenly you could be like an eagle flying through all the coastline, no? So we located. The first thing I do is locate a place. Then I think about the swell direction, no? Because it changes all the time.
Okay.
So the swell direction is really important. The wind direction is really important. Then we study, now there's apps with the deepness of the water.
Too.
Yeah, so you can know how deep is the water. Then the effect of the wave is different, no? And also the fetch. The fetch is really important. The distance between where the wave is born
generates,
and where the wave dies. Which that's where we surf, no? Where the wave finally dies. So it's interesting, and we're getting there. I'm getting closer, but still making a lot of mistakes for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting that you just said that we surf when the wave is dying. It's a kind of poetic concept.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that yet.
I think actually now I'm in a project about what is the origin of the wave, which is the sun, and how it warms the earth, and then you have the first swell, and then you have the first wave. How does it start traveling through the world, and then it dies, and then we help the wave to die after a project after a process of 3 weeks. Science it was born, no? So it also
3 weeks.
3 weeks science. It's the origin in the sun. There's like 3 weeks.
Okay.
So it's a beautiful process behind that. I think every surfer should know the science behind the wave. And then when we surf that last 10 seconds, then you have a deeper connection with what's going on around, no? With the moon, the earth, the sun, and all the natural elements. Yeah.
Nice, but very interesting. I think we should dig in it later. But then I would like to come back to that Cory Lopez video when you realized it was about Google Earth.
Yeah.
Was how many years ago?
That video was 2008, I think.
Okay.
So that inspired many of my generation, no? Because then we realized, no, there was still waves, especially in Africa, to discover.
Exactly.
When everybody thought that nearly all the exploration was finished, then you realize there's a lot to do, no? So there was this generation like us that we, like, also at the same time were with the social media, so we ended up learning that we could tell stories by ourselves, traveling the world with the new, like modern explorers, no?
Yeah. In fact, now obviously you, when you go somewhere, discovering a new wave, you most of the time you film, but you told me that a lot of other times you just went alone without saying anything to anyone. So how is it to travel alone for you? Like what's going on in your mind when you are going to places where you pretty much are away from the world, disconnected, really disconnected, literally, because there is no internet. You cannot call someone back if you need any rescue. So how that does to your mind?
I think it's a very interesting experience. To me, I realized that I changed, actually not changed, but I discovered a lot of things of my mind when I start traveling by myself. It's closer, yeah. I think like it's kind of scary when you first think about going to places that you don't know and you don't know what's going to happen. But at the same time, when you arrive to those places, you realize that you have, like, you need to get to the places. You need to know people because you need a human relationship.
Information and also, right?
Also information, and also you need love. Also, no, like you are alone, so you need, like, relationships with other people, no. So for me, it's a beautiful topic that you are looking for waves. That's your passion. And you ended up knowing a lot of things about you. Like I was really shy before I was traveling by myself, and then I realized when you are alone and you have to, no. Then you start to open your mind, and then you start to doing things that you never thought you were able to do. So I think that's your real personality when you are in places that the taboos are away and no one is judging you, and then it's yourself. Like expressing, and you discover a lot of things. I really recommend to travel by yourself.
To travel alone.
Yeah.
So it's about personal growth, pretty much. You're telling that you learn about yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously, a curious person like you can look around and trying to understanding where you are and why people are acting like that there. Because another important fact for you, I guess, it's discovering the culture, like understanding people and why they live there and what they think about the environment. Because another topic I'm interested in is the social side of what you're doing. So what was the best place where you meet the best people in the world?
That's a hard question to say, because I'm not, right now I'm remembering a lot of people. Around the world, a lot in the Amazonia, in Brazil. But I would say for me, the learning as learning experience, Africa. It's been some of the countries in Africa. It's been the most inspirational, because us coming from the Western countries, I think we think a lot like in our like longer period, no, and being in a mindset which is completely different, that they're living more in the moment, like right now, you know. It's very inspiring, and for me it's been the
best lesson.
The best lesson for sure. And it comes very natural on them, but it's for us, it's like
for us it's really hard, because we are always thinking about the future with goals and careers. And they just think about today.
Think about today, maybe about tomorrow, but not farther away, which is great. I think they enjoy life. Obviously, they have also things to learn about us, you know. And but I think for us it's very important. Yeah.
And so when you learn that lesson, you try to live it back in Europe, in the Basque Country where you are from, with that mindset. Did you try?
I try. Yeah. I think I remember a lot, and some people that I met, and I try to write all these things when I'm traveling alone. I try to write them, because then you forgot. Humans, you forget very fast, no?
It's true.
So every now and then when I go back to my culture and you start being again back to what you do every day in your road or in your thing, no? Then I read what I was. There was a human being in the desert writing that. It was me. 1 year ago, but it was me who was thinking on those things, no? So I remind it all the time to.
Yeah. That's good. So you have like your books, your journal where you write. When you're traveling, you keep this like used to write down everything you see every day. So
Yeah, everything I see and everything I think, which clicks my mind. So so when you write it, that if you think sometimes the wind takes the word away, but if you write it, then you can remember who was in that moment. No,
that's true.
Yeah.
In these days, I've also heard you talking about traveling alone, but with a low budget. So, how? What would you suggest to our audience? The best tips to try to travel in a low budget.
I think for me the most important thing is to realize that in so many countries the mindset is completely different. So it's more important what not to do than what to do. I don't bring so many things to survive or something like that. No, for me it's more important to ask a lot of questions, and then you get the information, and then you know what you don't have to do, because some of the countries, like something that we can do right here right now, it's fine, but there's something maybe that you can't do in, let's say, in Angola, right?
Yeah,
I come from a nude beach. Everybody's nude. So for me it's natural to be nude, but maybe if you go to some of the countries there, it's something that for you it's insignificant, but it can be very offensive. So that's a small
advice
example, but I think that's the most important, because you can see yourself in big troubles if you do what you do at your place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for sure a real important tip.
Yeah.
But then coming back to the question, how you plan a new trip to trying to cut the costs? How do you book the flights? Obviously you travel, I think probably looking at the forecast.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a last minute decision and it's harder to cut the costs. So based on your experience, what would you suggest?
Well, I think I travel very light, very light, and it's very. It's not as hard. I think it's very important before you go a country like that, know how is the situation of the country, because we go there to have fun, not to be in problems, So you have to know the situation of the country, and then get there, and I do it very simple. Honestly, sometimes the projects looks like you do a project and looks like something very prepared, but sometimes I just get my backpack, my surfboards, and I leave, and then in the airport I start, moving.
You meet people on the way.
Yeah, and that's and you do at the end you do it. For me, I'm gonna say an example. I did a trip to Gabon.
Okay.
And then in Facebook at that time I write it Gabon surf, to contact someone, and then there was this guy that answered me, and he told me, I'm not in Gabon right now, but I'm gonna leave. It's really hard to rent a car there, so I'm gonna leave you my car in the airport.
Wow.
With the key.
No way.
And you just go.
You never met that guy before?
Never.
Just texting on Facebook.
That's it. And I never met him after too. I took the car, and then I went with Den Gadauskas, and then with my friend Den Gadauskas both, and then I left. We left a few boards in the car, and we left, and that's it.
Okay. You left a few boards just to say thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's
nice,
it. Yeah.
Nice. That's good approach to give back to someone that trusted you, even if you don't.
No, you don't know. No, so it's true that in some of the countries like that, there's not many tourists. So everybody knows how. If there's a surfer, knows how hard it is to travel in those places. So everybody is
takes
there's a lot
care
of hospitality.
of the people coming from.
Yeah. That's like that. Yeah.
Nice. And now another I guess difficult question is top 3 of your trips.
I think for me Namibia was very special, because that was the first trip I did by myself, for the reason I told you. I discovered a lot of things of myself. Also in the desert, I was looking for waves, but I was camping, and in the desert nothing moves, only the waves and your head. So you think a lot about things that you did wrong in your life, things that you did right also, and
it's intense.
It's intense. Yeah, it is. I think that was the most important trip in my life, and there was a few more. There was one with a crazy wave. I was by myself, you know. That was
Still in Africa.
Yeah, in Africa. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was probably the most beautiful experience I ever had. For sure.
And you never told anything about that except to your friends.
I actually didn't even film nothing. Didn't take a photo. Nothing.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, nobody knows. Yeah, maybe no.
Nobody knows.
No, nobody knows.
That's so good.
Yeah, you know now the story, but nowhere. You don't know where yet.
No, exactly. I don't know, and I'm not gonna ask where it was.
Please.
But this is so important because we should tell to our audience. Obviously, we have a lot of people because we are lucky in Italy following what we are doing. And like when we do an interview with you, they're gonna be really, really focused. But some of them, maybe they're new to this world. How we can explain to them why you don't want to say where you were, like talking about a wave that maybe no one has surfed before you and no one surfed yet. So how would you explain why we are so, not jealous, but quiet and respectful?
I think the word is respectful, no? Because it's not. I don't think it's something for you, like you want to keep that way for you and not anyone to surf. It's more like, because these days I think the information is very sensitive, especially with the internet and the telephones. So I think it's a way to say, okay, it was hard to get to this place. It was worth it to spend so much time, so much effort to surf there by yourself and get that experience. So by one side, you want to keep that place as you found it, no? Because the next one that finds that wave, it's gonna have the same experience as you.
Okay.
And also, I think it's very sensitive in terms of changing the way of life of the people there, because you think that a world-class wave, it can be like a mind, it can bring a lot of money to some people, so it's sensitive on the way it could be used, no? So
exactly, we have seen a lot of surf venues in the world changing because of their wave.
Yeah,
places where nobody used to go before they discover a wave. Then after the wave, they build a business around it. The people from them sometimes. It also happened in Morocco, in Tagazu, and people from the village, the fishermen cannot buy a house no more because it costs too much, and they have to leave their place to go up in the mountains. So
I think
this is no good.
Yeah, I think there's nothing. I have nothing against about business, but the reality is that if you see back what some of the places surfing has bring to some of the places, there's normally nothing like really like fully good for the local people, you know.
Exactly,
so at the end, it's very sensitive. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let's move on to the next question, and I would like to hear some stories about the sketchiest situation that you have experienced while traveling. And we decided 3 topics, which is wildlife, so in wildlife encounter in the water or outside of the water, then wars or dangerous people, because it can happen when you traveled in the past, and then diseases, because you have been in trouble a lot of times. So please.
Yeah, I think the most scary situation I had, it was actually in Alaska.
Okay.
I was in a boat with some fishermen that I met somewhere. Yeah,
somewhere.
I met them in an island called Kodiak Island.
Okay.
And in that island there's 3 bears for every 1 person. So I mean, it's like super wild. And then these people and me, we went up to some islands that we looked in Google Earth that there was absolutely nothing but like white animals, no?
Okay.
And we decided to leave this boat in a natural harbor.
Okay.
And the tides there are super big, so we ended up waking up in the morning, and the boat was in the sand.
In the sand.
Because of the
low tide. It was dry.
It was dry because of the low tide.
The day before you went to sleep, and it was like I don't know, 2 meters of water.
Maybe more. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we decided to walk through the sand. No?
Wow.
And then we realized we were walking with a friend of mine, Nico from Alaska.
Okay.
And we decided to walk, and then we realized it was quicksands. Like, I mean, you know, like in the movies.
No way.
You have like quicksands. And
in Alaska.
We realized that we were sinking and sinking and sinking.
Sabbie mobili, we say.
That was bad because I was lighter. I'm not very heavy, but my friend was heavier, so he was sinking.
No.
So I started to walk, and there was a distance between him and me. And for one moment, I looked back, and I thought I was gonna make it, but for a moment, I thought like Nico was not able to make it, and there's nothing I could do, you know. So
how long was that walk from the boat to
probably
the safe place?
1 hour.
1 hour in the quicksand.
Yeah, because it was really hard to walk.
So every step was like you were going down.
Yeah, like really down. And if you stop for a moment, you could see like
Wow. So like in the snow when you go like hiking, no?
Yeah.
And it's like fresh snow, powder.
Yeah, but the thing
there it was going down.
Yeah, the thing is that even if it stops, there is a moment that the world it's sinking you.
Yeah.
It's not like the snow, no?
Yeah.
You have the power of everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was at the end we made it. We made it both.
And then the water came back because of the tide, and how do you come back to the boat?
Yeah, we went paddling with the boards.
Boards.
Because we had the boards. But I mean, yeah, it was sensitive, and for a moment it puts you in a situation that you don't know. You should help your friend, but there's nothing you can do. So it was intense, and in that side I didn't know my friend before a lot, and in 10 days, like in situations like that, it puts you in like you can get like very close or very far too, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
And luckily we are very good friends now. It's been a long time since that, but you get to know that the people very well, no.
And this guy lives in Alaska.
Lives in Chile. In Chile.
Ah, in Chile.
Yeah, in Chile.
Okay. Nice. So this is one of the such an intense story, but. What about diseases or dangerous people, wars, conflicts?
Yeah. I do not travel to places that there's conflicts normally, because I think it's also unrespectful. You're looking. I mean, for us, it's very important to get to surf waves, but at the same time, if related to a situation like that, I mean, it's a little bit unrespectful to go to places like that looking for waves, and people is dying actually, you know. So.
That's so true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I try to go to places that I normally have fun.
Okay.
I want to have fun. You know, that's my goal, and know the people, and you know. But it's true that some of the places, Mauritania at that time was sketchy.
Mauritania.
Yeah, Mauritania was sketchy, and then yeah, the first year I went to Angola was really hard too. You know, Angola had the longest war in the history of Africa. And Liberia was also hard, you know. I don't know. There's many places, but I would say I like in general terms, and we see in the news that there's many problems in Africa and in many places in the world. But I have to say that in general terms, I found a lot of humanity everywhere. So I can't complain about that for sure. Yeah, being a white boy traveling by yourself. It's an important info, white boy. yeah.
In Africa sometimes it's hard because you are just the one in the whole city, maybe in the whole village.
Yeah, but I have to say that, and also like bringing surfing to some of the communities, they don't know, in some of the places they don't know what you're gonna do with that, you know, boat that you bring. So you ended up going out and you get this wave and everybody goes crazy because there's someone walking in the sea, no?
Yeah.
So then when you come in, the kids want to surf and there's a party in the village and everything becomes...
It's amazing. All the time you let someone discover surfing for the first time. I guess it should be really like a true emotion, because you a lot of time taught someone to people that never seen surfing before. So
yeah, it's amazing, you know.
I
think that's the real truth. The pure part of surfing is that you go to somewhere that they don't know anything about surfing.
Exactly.
You see a kid like getting the first wave and he's straightly connecting and having fun. So that's the beauty of surfing, I think. No?
Yeah. That's true, and I understand that it should be incredible. But then yesterday we were joking about the fact that you have tick all the all the worst disease in world, traveling. What was hepatitis, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Then malaria.
Yeah, malaria with AIDS. Yeah, you know, that's something that actually you pay at the end you commit in these trips. It's fun, but you end up committing a lot of things, no? And also in this kind of life, like a lot of people tell you, like you have a very free life. Like I wish I was like you. Yes, it's true that I feel fortunate of this kind of living, but also you have to commit a lot with the things you do, and also like I would love to have a family, but at the same time in this kind of life it's hard, no? So you have you have to choose, and every decision you make in life you have to make. I commit, no?
And you commit because of the waves, because of your passion for waves. Yesterday you said, because I asked you when it's worth or not, and you told me, Leo, it's just if you want to go surfing that wave, you understand how committed, how strong is your motivation. So I was amazed by the fact that for you it's just the wave moving you all around the world, and that tells me how passionate you are, how much you love surfing.
Yeah, I think like there's something common in there's a small community that we are doing all the same, and I think the beauty of surfing also is that in every spot, even if it's a world-class wave, every wave is completely different. So the energy you get from the sea, it's also completely different. So you are curious. You say, okay, that wave could be like something like great, but also different. The feelings, no? So that's what pushes me.
Yeah.
But I have to say at the same time that now, if I look back, I remember some of the waves, but mostly what I remember is it's the experiences with the people, with the people I meet and the families I did around the world. That's actually the most important. Now looking back,
Okay. Yeah. But so then, in the end, you are a person really connected to real life. But we are used to now live another life on social media. Obviously, it could be part of your job because you need to tell these stories to keep on doing this life. But what is your relationship with social media? How you work with them?
Well, we like me. I was like let's say the generation of the pioneers, because we also saw the opportunity on YouTube and Facebook. Because I was traveling by myself at that time, and the GoPro was brought from the States. I bought it in the States, and it took like 3 months to come.
The first GoPro.
The first GoPro, and those were the first. Even when the word selfie didn't exist, we were filming ourselves, no?
Nice.
and the telephones didn't have a camera, you know. So we were like the very first ones to film ourselves and say, okay, I can tell the story.
Vlogging.
Yeah,
full vlogging. Okay.
So we saw the opportunity and to tell the stories, to share the stories, no? Before used to for storytelling. I also think, you know, maybe I'm getting older, but at that time it was more sustainable in terms of not being all day with the social media, no? Connected, yeah. I think we were telling stories and then connecting to the nature or the people and then tell a story.
Coming back, okay, it was a process. So you go back in the nature, you experience something, and then you come back and you say, guys, this is what happened. Then you went away for months, and then again. In fact, it's how we follow your work and your adventure, because you don't post that much on social media. And for us and for the people that know Kepa all around the world, it's not about following you on Instagram, but it's more about the big project you came out with on YouTube, Vimeo, whatever.
Yeah, so I try to keep it like that. I think everyone has like a part of you know, narcissism that we need to tell our stories, no? But I think it's going, like, in my opinion, it's going too much. So I try to keep it like I started. No, I do a project and I tell the story of something that happened, but I try to live it also, no? To be there and to live the experience.
It's important to live it in the present, and then like thinking about it, like reflecting on it, and then communicate.
I do believe so, but I absolutely respect all the people that is doing it this way. Nothing against them.
That's good to say from you. And one more question about surfboards. So you work with Pukas, which is pretty much the biggest European surfboard brand in the world, and they are really linked to this kind of stylish alternative boards, which are the ones you are surfing with. So when you started to switch from more competitive performance board to mid-lengths, twinnies, and how do you feel that it changed your surfing?
I think like I come from the competition world.
Exactly.
So until 26, I was 26. I was very focused in every single wave. In high performance surfing, you need to make a lot of big turns in very critical moments, which it was great. But at the same time, I wasn't connecting very much with the competition criteria.
Okay.
So I ended up leaving the competition. And then I had a big crisis of what to do, because every time I was finishing a wave, I was thinking, okay, this is 7, this is a 5, this is a 8.
No way.
And then you see, okay, now there's no competition. What I do? Like what is fun now? No? And I started to use this kind of boards that they don't allow you to make like big moves in critical situations, but they allow you to connect with the speed of the wave, no?
Okay.
And I started to understand different lines. Let's say music, no? In music we understand it better. Like playing guitar, it's not about playing the fastest, but it's about getting the tempo of the wave.
Yeah, the
no?
tempo, exactly.
The tempo. So that I started to have a lot of fun connecting with the tempo of the wave, no? With different boards, and now I fully understand it like that. I never ever think about a 7 or 8 or a 10.
Yeah.
And it's like getting older. You're learning all the time. I feel with these boards that I'm from 1 to 10 in a master scale. I'm now in the second scale, so I have a lot to.
Oh, wow! So you can improve a lot.
Yeah, I'm learning all the time. I feel like a kid surfing right now. Yeah.
Wow, that's so good.
Super fun. Yeah.
Super fun. Yeah, it was inspiring to hear that you relate like surfing a wave, like playing a guitar or an instrument, because it was we actually I've seen this relationship a lot of times, but not about the tempo you were saying. So you can maybe classify waves, saying this is like a slow wave, so you should play like relaxed, and then this is more like a fastest wave, so you should run because it barrels. So yeah, that's so good.
Like I think definitely every wave has a tempo, so I think there's something like you have to respect, and if not, you lose the flow. Maybe you do bigger moves, but you lose the flow. So yeah, like the most important thing in surfing and in life also, I think it's like going light, no? So yeah, it's important.
Kepa, I had the feeling, I have to say, to be honest, that I had the feeling that this could be one of the best podcasts ever from our show. We did 77, 78 episodes with people also from Europe, not just Italy. So I'm really thankful that we had this chat. And so really, thank you so much. I hope next time we see in the Basque Country. So
thank you very much, Joe.
We can spend some time surfing together.
Please, and I would love to come back to Italy, and hopefully there's some waves.
Yeah.
I heard this day there's like really, you showed me so many pictures of waves, so I'm very curious of surfing, and also like knowing here a lot of places that obviously the food and everything. So
yeah,
please, let's see in the Basque Country, but also in Italy.
Okay,
please.
yeah, for sure. We will let you know when it's coming.
Please, thank you very much for everything.
Thanks to you. Really appreciate.
It's been a pleasure. Also, all the people here. It's been super nice. Thank you very much. No, por favor.
Grazie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kepa. Thanks. Grazie, ragazzi. Thank you.